Hi, guys, and welcome back to Ultras 11. I'm Joe,
And I'm Al.
and please, before we even start, I was going to say something random, but whatever. Please, before we start everything, don't forget to comment, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to do all of that. We're Ultras 11. We're here. We're back,
Better than ever. Also, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at UltrasXI. Just covering all the social media fronts here.
Might as well. The handle.
If we're going to start somewhere, might as well end the rest of it.
You're right.
But just want to also add, just in case you guys were wondering, why we took another sabbatical of 3 weeks. It was this time, there was good reason. My appendix, that's been with me for 28 long years. We've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, just decided to, hey, fuck off. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I want to get out of you. And I had to go to the hospital and get it removed. So had to take a little bit of time off. But
I didn't remove it for him. If you guys are wondering,
Joe,
not that close
Joe,
Joe
was by my side. He was one of the doctors in the room just to make sure everything went well.
I gave him the drugs.
Yeah. He facilitated the drugs. But yeah, everything's all good now. I'm all healed. I'm all ready to go. Last week we were going to record, but we decided to maybe take another week just to kind of rest. But feeling better now, excited, happy to be back, excited to be back.
Yeah,
want to get right into this thing.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a fucking hot minute.
Even like content, we haven't really done anything. It was like it's kind of like we dropped the ball. I dropped the ball at least. I was fucking bedridden. Poor thing couldn't even move. He couldn't even flex his toes at one point.
Took some time to be with God.
Yeah. Played a lot of pro clubs, which is pretty crazy.
We did.
But jumping right into it, there was some stuff that happened. International break is upon us right now. Footy's returning this weekend, I think. Yes. Footy's returning this week. Timelines is returning on Thursday. Everything's back to normal, stuff like that. Thank you also for viewing that video. It's
really appreciate it, guys.
It's fun.
It's fun doing them.
But yeah, getting right into that, whatever it is. Same.
Let's get right into this, buddy. I'm fucking excited, Joe.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even read much about it until it happened. Like I didn't even catch wind of this, but
because it's not like Italy, Joe's. When something happens, you don't hear about it at the beginning of it, and then you're like, why is it taking so long? And then when it's actually done, it'll come out, and that's how Italy takes things. They wait, they keep everything hush. Wait, a little bit will kind of squeak out, but that's just normal.
Yeah.
They wait, and then once they're done with their decision, they release it, and you're like, oh, shit, what the hell was that happening?
I literally just woke up one day, went on Twitter, started seeing like some stuff, and I seen that Everton actually lost points.
Yeah.
Because of a rule that's set in the Premier League called the profit and sustainability rules, which is kind of crazy to me considering like City and their breaches. But then after looking into it, obviously I learned different charges. Yeah. But let's talk about that now. Everton got docked points.
Mm-hmm.
They are now in relegation. Do you think that, first off, it's just, given the fact that, like, when I looked into it, so just a little catch up for you two, me, whatever. You're only allowed to, ever since like the COVID rules and whatever took place in the Premier League, you're only allowed to record 105 mil in profit losses or something along that line. I could be wording it wrong, whatever. But they had 124 mil.
It's Everton. Okay.
So what is that? 20 mil roughly? 19 mil, sorry. 19 I'm not good at science. 19 mil. Above that, and it's like they got docked 10 points. Do you think that's fair, given the state of everything? It's
something about fair and unfair. If there was a breach and they actually did something wrong, it's proven, it went to court. Like I even said last year with Juve. If you find something wrong and you have proof to back it, 100% there should be a penalty. People will look at City and they're always going to get brought up because of how much they spend and all that. But at the end of the day, with these rules that they have in the Premier League, if City, even though they're spending, everyone kind of forgets to look at, the money that's going, like the money that's coming in.
Yeah, the revenue they're making.
Sales that they're doing. No one everyone just looks at what they're spending.
Yeah.
Man City has been doing, obviously they do have their own breaches of their own. But for the most part, man, like you look at a team like Everton where they're trying to compete, they're trying to spend the money like everyone else in the Prem. They want to stay relevant. if they don't have they can't get the right players to back it, and they've been shit for the last couple seasons now. Yeah. You're not making the profit you once were because people, fans, not as much fans might be coming out to the game or spending as much money. You're not making that profit. Even like a lot of sponsorship deals might not want to sponsor, might not want to go with them just because of the position that they're in. Might want to go for a more desirable team. You know, there's a lot of things, and like I at the end of the day, there is it's nice seeing that teams that are breaking these rules and you have a bunch of these breaches. It's nice seeing that they're actually something's happening to them, and it's for once it's not just Juve. It's not just Italy,
and it's not just Chelsea.
No, but I'm saying it's not usually you hear about these things. It's always Italy. Mm-hmm. You always hear that. You don't really hear anything. You hear sometimes now recently Spain and stuff teams in there, but
Barcelona
with a lot of the English teams, I don't know whether they've they have people on the inside or they've just been really good with this stuff. You don't really hear much about it. It's nice seeing that now you're starting to hear hey, you broke rules, you're going to get punished for it. There's got to be something there. If City, if they can find something on them and, they're in the kind of same boat and they actually did have a profit loss and it was, even bigger than that, sure, 100%. They deserve that. But at the end of the day, if you're Everton and you have these, it's against the rules, especially after COVID and all these new regulations, COVID's not a thing anymore. You can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
You have to be able to keep those numbers balanced or else you're going to get screwed over. And that's what happened to them now.
Well, for me, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's actually a little bit unfair. I know that might come as a bit of a thing where people are going to tell me I'm stupid, which is fine. Obviously say that. But for me, my biggest thing is okay, obviously I agree when you have a profit loss, because then what's stopping you from going into more debt, right? Spending freely.
If nothing's happening
if there's no repercussions to said debt, you could keep on building this debt and build a super team of sorts or whatever it is. So in that regard, I do agree there should be some form of punishment. But why is the punishment performance based? You know what I mean? Like these players, they go out there, they're playing, they're losing these games. Yes. So now any decent work that they have this season is just out the window because now they got docked at 10 points. Obviously, they could still bounce back, get out of relegation. But what if at the end of the season, fast forward, now Everton gets relegated and, they're a point behind? You really would think then about those 10 points. And for me, I don't think you should be punishing. If it's a financial issue like this, it shouldn't be based on, your performance should not be the one that gets punished. It should be something like profits.
But then you can use the argument too, okay, how did they get to this profit loss? It's because players that they purchased to play for the team.
And in saying that they're not competing good enough in regards to Champions League and whatever.
So because of that investment that now you're in a loss, that's where it gets targeted. And also too, if let's just say, okay, the league said, okay, you have this and these breaches here, the penalty is going to be a $5 million fine for the team.
Yes.
A team will pay that, no problem, move on from it and go on with their life. If you punish the team, something like this, 10 points, you're going to get the players upset, you get them upset, you get the fans upset, you're going to put that pressure onto them.
Yes.
So for me, it's the only way you can really go, because if you go with the fines, they're just going to pay it, and it's not going to be a punishment. Okay. That's not a punishment.
Now riddle me this. This is where I was alluding to, because this is my thought process with this now. Now, they're clearly profit loss. They're not, revenue isn't as high. Stadium sales, let's just say, they're not going to Champions League, so they don't have those bonuses, Europa League, whatever it is, whatever. What's the easiest way to make profit if you are a club? Like a football team, it's selling players, right? Yeah. Where is the biggest profit margin? Homegrown talent, right? So my theory is, if you want them to get out of this financial rut and whatever, you should probably actually put a ban on their transfer market. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to buy these players and spend 45 mil on Moise Kean, who you're just going to ship out and make chump change back for him. You know what I mean? Now you're forced to grow your youth product, maybe sell them off, which will suck, obviously, but the profit margin is massive with that. You know what I mean? If you grow a guy from nothing, you didn't pay anything for him, you sell him for 30, 40 mil, on the books, that's clean, 30, 40 mil. You know what I mean? As opposed to you getting a guy for 10, 15 and thinking, oh, fuck, he played well, now we're going to sell him. No, So I think they, one of their things, if that's the actual issue, if that's the only issue, I would say look into banning them from using the transfer market for a year, 2 years, whatever it is, until they get some sort of financial sustainability again, you know, like worry about that stuff. You saw it happen with Chelsea when they had that transfer ban. And, you know, look how well they did, how they bet. Like, obviously, Roman Abramovich came in with a fucking bang then and bought everybody and their dad. But you saw, like, all their youngsters come through their ranks. That's when you start to see how good their youth academy actually was. And they sold these players. Now they have a guy like Reece James, who arguably, when fit, is probably one of the best right backs in the league, in the world even. You know, so, like, I feel like that's a punishment that should actually be given to them, not take points away from them. Now you're going to relegate them. They're not going to have any more money. Fans are turning on them. You know, like, you're doing more harm than good in that regard, if you ask me.
Yeah,
you know, that's why
I feel like maybe they're going this route instead of going like the ban from the transfer market. So at least, you know, okay, yeah, they're gonna, you know, they're losing 10 points. They're gonna have to fight to stay in the league, but at the end of the day, they're still going to be able to sell players and bring new players in and try to kind of fix these margins with the market instead of just not using that and just trying to hope to, okay, let's grow a couple guys. And then once we have the market again, hopefully we can make some profits and try to, you know, fix whatever debt we're in. Yeah. I feel like they kind of just did that. So they still allow them to kind of make up this loss, but they're going to be deducted now. And hey, you know what? You don't fix it next year and you're still in this thing. It's going to be the same thing that's going to happen to you. So they're going to have to fix it now, and you will see them go to, because now they're not going to want to lose more points next season or another time this season. They're going to have to fix it.
What are your thoughts on Manchester? Obviously, like, we don't know the full story. Nobody really will know the full story unless they are physically there. But Manchester City, obviously, as we all know, had 115 breaches or something like that. So you see Everton getting docked these points and whatever. So you think now about what's their name? City. There's rumors that they actually could get relegated. Now, what is your stance on that? Do you think if they get proven guilty and whatever, we're not going to talk about what they did. We're just talking about if they're guilty.
If they're guilty, because
do you think? Because again, these are the same breaches that they brought forward. UEFA brought forward. And they were acquitted of. They had to pay just a small fine or whatever it was, and City was in the clear. So these are the exact same breaches now the Premier League's looking into, and apparently they could be guilty for this. So do you think that decision to relegate City would be a good decision? Do you think it's a little bit whatever?
Well, like, see, I don't think, like, if they would come in, they're not going to I don't think they'll come in and go straight there and be like, oh yeah, we're relegating them. They're going to do it in the way where it's like, okay, we're going to dock them whatever this amount of points, which will pretty much put them in that relegation zone, and they're not going to be able to get out of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I could see that happening, but really, man, like, only if they find something concrete that they can prove that, like, they did something that, like, you know, these breaches have something to stand on. Because at the end of the day, man, if UEFA, you know, like, you see how, you know, serious UEFA, like, tries to be about these things. The fact that, you know, they kind of came to an agreement with City, you know, people at the time were like, oh yeah, City just paid. I just feel like they didn't really have enough concrete evidence on them, on these, like, they probably had something that they were like, okay, we can question them about this, but they didn't have the evidence to back them.
Yeah, and
or they were just,
they wanted,
you know, they were just publicity. They were just missing something. So they just said, okay, you know what, let's settle. And then just kind of whatever, you know, move past them. We'll try to keep this a thing, and we can work on it going forward.
Yeah.
Now, in the Premier League is trying to do, you know, kind of do a blitz and kind of going after everybody. And they're obviously City's going to be one of the top teams, because look how much money they spend every year. And, you know, just look at the team that they are. They're going to have eyes on them. So, you know, they're going to get looked into. If the Premier League can find something on them and, you know, significant stuff on them, 100% they deserve to be relegated, or whatever the consequence is, minus whatever many points.
But that's oh jeez, I thought that was on the edge. Oh my god. Do you think, like, that's my question though? City's a fucking huge team.
Yeah.
That's a big fish. It's like when I look at Barcelona and Real Madrid, like, look at all these things about Barcelona that are coming to light, and what has been done? Absolutely nothing.
Sorry to bring this up, but in 2006, who was the biggest team in Italy?
No, I agree. But that's the thing, Al. This is my thing. Italy will always do anything to fucking burn down other Italians. Yeah. It's literally a proven thing. You go on Twitter, English journalists are saying it. Fucking German, everyone says it. That's Italy.
Nowadays, owners aren't like what they used to be, especially in the Premier League. if you don't think Premier League teams would even back the league to try to, fuck with City and try to get them out of how this dominance that they're in, you don't think they're going to do that?
I'm not saying the Premier League teams. I'm saying the board, the Premier League themselves,
the
FA.
teams, the owners, and everything. They all have the connections. They have a say, man. If they can find a way and prove something on City and get them relegated or get them fucking bottom of the table, they're going to do it.
Yeah, but okay, see, then you said bottom of the table. How many points is justifiable enough? If you're proven guilty for 150 charges,
if you're saying 10 points for $124 million that they recorded as a positive loss, you have to see what City does plus whatever
as a positive loss,
as a negative loss. Sorry, the morphine. I think it's still running through my veins. I gotta clear my brain.
Al still has Ivy upstairs, or not a person named Ivy.
No, it's not upstairs. It's in my upstairs here.
Yeah.
It's still flowing.
There you go.
Yeah, it's still flowing.
I think I may be a little. Anyways, yeah.
But yes, man, I'm still going with if they had a profit loss again. Oh my god, if they recorded a loss of over 124 mil, which that already got a team 10 points, and you have a shit ton of other breaches that you have evidence of that they did and goes against the rules in the Premier League. 100%, Joe. Whatever the points is, you have to figure that out, and you minus those points.
Listen, I agree. If you're gonna,
I'm not just saying this because I'm not just saying that because it's City and they're dude. I don't respect City, but I do like City. I watch their games. I like a lot of players on City. I'm not a City fan, but I like a lot of the players on the team.
I just like Bernardo Silva.
I wouldn't want to see that happen to them, but at the end of the day, man, if they did that, 100%, they should get penalized.
Yeah. Oh, no, listen, I agree. I do 100% agree. If, again, it's not as if it's like again, Everton, 19 mil technically was the difference that separated them from getting 10 points taken away. So I look at City, and if there's 115 charges, not 2 charges, not 7 charges, nothing like that, fucking 115. I'm sorry, they should be fucking brought to the stake and burned. You know what I mean? Like they should be relegated.
Just get rid of the club.
Yeah, that's not something, whatever. That's just, if you don't take a stance, I feel like you're letting money win, and you're kind of, when the whole Super League was forming and everyone said, oh, money's winning, but they're ruining the beautiful game. No. You're allowing City then to basically ruin the game because they have the ultimate power. They have the money.
And they're letting money win.
You know what I mean? So, I do agree with you that that's what should happen. But first off, we probably won't see anything happen until next year.
No, that's what I'm saying.
This year, they've already made their statement. They're already done, whatever. I think with City, it'll happen next year. And in saying that, I don't see them doing anything crazy. I see them saying to them, you're starting with minus 25 points, 26 points. You know what I mean? Only because City is a huge, huge cash cow, not just for the Premier League, but for Europe as well. Like Barcelona, who is literally convicted, everyone there is being charged with bribery, match fixing, and this and that. If Barca is still fucking twerking and doing absolutely nothing, nothing's happening to them, what separates them from City?
Yeah.
City's more of a newer history, I guess, that's forming, but it's still the principle that, clearly money talks in Europe.
Obviously, money talks anywhere.
It's one of those things that,
especially in soccer. The
league may want to go forward with doing something, but Europe, at the end of the day, won't allow something of that stature to happen. What happens to City then if they do get relegated? Will it be like Juve? They're going to be playing that everybody just leaves.
The championship. Probably. You're only going to get you're going to have a lot of academy people and a lot of people that
that's the thing
really
too.
really like City, but you're a lot of players, man. They're gonna want to be playing at the top level, and they're gonna leave the team.
And that's the thing too with the Premier League and the Championship. There's different regulations already, with the team you could field, with your squad that you're allowed to have. So that already at that point, City's gonna have to clean house.
Yeah.
Maybe you could see Haaland go to Real Madrid. You could see Rodri go back to Atletico. It's. Oof. I wouldn't want him back at Atletico.
Where did Bernardo Silva go? Probably PSG.
Probably Roma. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Roma.
Mourinho wants to extend for a year. Bring him in.
You guys going to get that? What's that kid on Benfica? That young kid that everyone's talking about.
Joao Costa? No, Joao Costa's our player.
No. On Benfica. They're saying he's going to be Enzo, 100 million player.
Oh, Joe was talking about him. The midfielder. Something. Yeah. I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember the name right now. He was an 18-year-old kid. Apparently he moves fucking
He moves
silk.
crazy, apparently. I can't remember.
I will remember the name, and I'm not going to hold
that's
back
what
time.
Roma's going to end up getting.
Yeah, fuck.
Somehow.
I wish we actually got somebody good for once in our fucking life. Instead, everyone twerks for Lukaku.
People are going for him for like 100 mil, and Roma just get him.
Yeah.
20 mil. 20 mil, a chance to get talk to Mourinho.
$20 and a signed picture of Mourinho with his daughter.
On his Vespa.
But I mentioned Mourinho's daughter. I'm going to transition here. It's been a while since I did a transition, so I just really wanted an excuse to say that.
Joe missed his transition.
Yeah, I kind of did. So as we brought up, how many episodes ago? Let's say 3. I don't know. I'm not good with times. We brought up FIFA. We talked about how the game sucks.
EAFC.
Sorry, EAFC. We talked about that. Everyone's
straight,
complaining, blah, blah, blah. But I that game actually got me thinking, and I was thinking about this a lot during our hiatus and when I was bedridden, poor thing. Women in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now hear me out. The game, like football itself, not FIFA, EAFC, the game itself has evolved. You see players coming in at 15, 16 with the maturity of 25-year-olds. You see players are now deemed surplus after the age of 27. Like, oh, shit, they're a fine wine now if they keep on playing well past that age. You know, like the game is constantly evolving. Records are being broken. New records are being set, obviously. Like, it's just changing. Constantly changing. So I started thinking about the women's game. And, you know, how far it's come since, like, oh, you weren't allowed to have a team, this and that. Now, like, everyone has a team. Yeah. It's evolving. It really is. And you see EAFC kind of brought a new light to the women's game. I will honestly say that. As much as whatever, now people know who players are.
I know a lot of women's players now.
People knew who Bonmati was before she won that. Yeah. You know, people knew about Putellas. People are learning about all these women in the game.
And Hansen,
you know, maybe it's for the wrong reasons. People are just sexualizing them, saying they're sexy, which is a thing, probably. No. There is one girl in Wolfsburg I love her, Julie Brand. Anyways, no, but like, there's a lot that people are like now learning because of EAFC, and that's great. So I started thinking, what if men and women actually played in real life together? Would the women's game have evolved and like? I don't know how to word this without maybe coming off as misogynistic, but would the women's game be essentially like better to the world? Like people would want to watch it. It would have more of a reputation, more viewership, more like everything if men and women play together. And do you even think it's possible?
I mean, to an extent, yeah. I mean, dude, like honestly, like. I've watched, you know, girls' games. Obviously, there's it's a like for me, it's a different level.
Yeah.
But there is girls that you know I've watched like you know the Women's World Cup or even like the qualifying or just even like just I mean I watched the game on the weekend because I had a live card from EAFC. Yeah. What's her name again? I always butcher her name. Davies' ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Jordan Heitema.
Yeah, her. So I watched a little bit of that game. So I mean, started to watch a little bit more, but. Like
I did watch
you see with these girls, and there's some of them that you're like, yo, they can ball with the bros, like, dude, they can definitely play with the dudes, like it's not even a question. Obviously, you're gonna have your ones that, they've made it professionally, but I don't think that they'd be able to just keep up with like, the physicality and just like the momentum of like the game, like in like an actual like El Clasico game or like for an example, happened not too long ago, Roma Lazio. You throw a couple of girls in that derby.
Oh yeah,
they're probably gonna get killed.
And you look at guys like physical guys, like a guy like Mancini. You know,
that's
6'3".
That's
big
where like
boy. You know,
those are the ones where I'm like, hey, like these like, hey, you know, they'd get butchered. But man, a lot of these girls could definitely they can take it, they can hang, like they can. For sure, play with guys. I can definitely see that being a thing. Do I see that progressing? You know, if that was a thing, the women's sport of it? No, just because like I feel like it would almost be like how you know how they have like the co-op like here. That's like you have to have like co-ed. The minimum 2 girls on the pitch at all times. You got to have like whatever amount of girls on your team. Like I feel like it would be that, which it would be cool. Like you'd get girls playing with guys and you would get like, you know, girls just absolutely balling out against other guys, just making them look stupid.
Yeah.
But it would hold back their like soccer for women in like just in general, just because you're not giving a chance to all women. Like you're literally only picking like the Cristiano Ronaldos and the Messis of the bunch
Yeah.
to play on these
Yeah,
teams.
yeah. I get what you mean there. Yeah.
It's a different skill gap. Obviously, like I said, there could be girls playing there, but you're picking at straws. Like, it's not going to be a lot of standout girls, I think. So having their own game and just like having them in EAFC, that brought, like, dude, we know you show us any flag and there's a good chance that we know it because of FIFA.
Yeah, it's true. Actually.
So a lot of people that play
Very
soccer,
true.
play FIFA, know a lot of their stuff of the game, even players that play that they wouldn't know if they didn't play FIFA because of the game. So adding women's in, just already you bring light to majority of soccer players because majority of soccer players play the game.
Yeah.
So already that you're helping it. And just, I feel like their biggest thing, they have to get more TV rights and just promote like their game just to be available more to, don't you put on Apple TV, you got to get a triple premium thing, and
like the MLS,
don't make it like that because no one's gonna
subscription.
watch it. It's gonna be like the MLS. No one's watching it because it's so, like, no one's gonna pay that much to have like a third subscription other than DAZN and Fubo to watch something else.
It's true. Actually, it is true.
It's so stupid. The girls need, like, whether it's, you take a little bit less money, but you go on something like a TSN or something that's gonna be like broadcasted that anybody can watch it. You do that, you're gonna get a lot of exposure on the women's game.
Oh yeah.
Having them with guys, I feel like it would be good for some, like, for certain players, but it would hold a lot of players back and a lot of people back just because they might not be able to, like, they wouldn't be able to make it in a guy's team.
Yeah.
Just because, but they would be they'd be able to make it no problem on a women's team.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to, like. That's what I was thinking of, though. Like, okay, you look at the crop of women right now that are playing in whatever it is. Obviously, like, I'll agree with you there. Like Putas, I think she could ball with.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
She's actually fucking crazy good. Like, her and Bonmati are actually like nasty. But I think that if you would have had women, I'm saying, like, when women were recognized to play the sport in 1991 when they had like their first World Cup or something like that. If from that on, obviously international, I'd say keep separate just because, more viewership, stuff like that. But I think if you had women playing in the game from that point, I could see them evolving and being like, adapting more. And then, like, come present day, more women would be able to play in the game. That's what I mean. Like, I think I'm trying to think of like Christine St. Clair, she was a fucking physical specimen of a woman, respectfully, whatever. If she played with men, though, maybe she wouldn't have been as dominant, but then you would have seen the new crop of striker. Oh, Christine St. Clair did A, B, and C, so now I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do some more. And they will evolve, just like men's game is evolving now.
Yeah.
So I could maybe see... I mean, physically, it's always been a thing about like women, men are taller, more brute looking, whatever, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think you would have been able to see more women play the game, and maybe it would have been more popular. Really,
you would see them more often earlier than now because of FIFA or just because whatever. But man, you wouldn't see a lot of the girls because you don't know if they would have actually made it if it was guys and girls.
Yeah,
teams mixed. You don't know Sinclair, Canada's best ever player, almost North America's best player for women's, and which could she have made it on a top team? Who knows? Now we're not going to know.
Obviously, like this
whatever.
is all hypothetical.
Looking at her career now and be like, oh yeah, no, dude, she could have been. But start from the beginning of her career, see if she would make it that, and then there goes her career.
Well, I didn't think about that part too. Like it, like
think of it like that. Like hey. Megan Rapinoe. Hate the girl for the shit that she does. Nothing other than that. Just the way how like arrogant and cocky and just like, wow.
That God comment was actually so fucking left field.
Making that look at the kid at the Ballon d'Or ceremony. She's like,
like grow up
to sign his ball. Like, no, okay.
She's actually a loser. She's the reason why.
I'm saying, like, you put her, like, she thinks she's like the LeBron James of soccer. Like, she thinks she's amazing. Put her in the guys in a guy's game. I'm sorry, what's she doing?
She would have got 2-footed by Sergio Ramos within like 10 minutes. Probably.
Or Chiellini would just wrap himself around her. She's doing nothing. So that's what I mean. A girl like that had such an impact with it just in American soccer and everything. I don't think she would have, and not even my hatred for her. I don't think she would have done nothing. On a guy's team, on a male dominant team. I don't think she would do anything. Certain girls, I think it could. Like Ju Grosso, she can hang. She could definitely get slotted to Juve's midfield, no problem.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. That like I think about like man, women also, like, you look at, they'll give you a different kind of
100%. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Like again in EA, like
Yeah.
what does a woman bring on your ultimate team?
Yeah,
That agility, that quick turn of pace, like whatever. Like, would a big brute idiot ass like fucking Christian Romero be able to stop a full flight Oshuala? Like that's the thing, because she's so fast.
Oshalala.
You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I think about, like, would he actually in real life be able to stop her? Maybe one-on-one, her running at him, yeah. But a through ball down the line when she's just like running it down, he's not fucking quick enough for that. He's not agile enough like that. Like, it's stuff like that I think about. That like maybe it would be crazy to see.
You know what I can see them doing, like down the line, like especially because they're gonna try to, like, now with Champions League, like now next year, they're changing it. They're trying to make it more interesting for people and get more viewers and everything. I could see them eventually get to a point where they're like, hey, you know what? Looking at like American sports and stuff, you know what? Let's do like an all-star kind of weekend thing. Yeah. Have everybody
That'd be sick, honestly.
People get selected, they come there, we do like these competitions, we have like an all-star game, and then like the all-star game, they do it like the best, guys and girls.
Yeah.
And they have a mix of like that, and you see them both playing together. Like that would be a cool thing to kind of start that, and then hey, you never know where that could lead. That can lead to like, other certain competitions that you'll have like, the best, of the mix, and you'll have a team like that, and you'll have guys
that would be
pretty
together.
Sick,
actually, to see.
Man, like you said at the beginning, the game's evolving, everything about it, from the guys, the girls, everything is evolving. So in the future, 10, 15 years down the line, who knows where it's going to be, man. Like legit, like I look at some things now, like when I watch the game, like there's like new technology and stuff that like, you tell me like when I was in like whatever grade 9, grade 10, like watching soccer, I would even think that this stuff, like, no, there's no way they have that like back then. Like I would never think like VAR. Like I used to think they're never gonna have like the like, the referee,
even
like
goal line
thing.
technology, man.
Like,
I didn't think that.
I always thought that was just gonna be the ref.
Yeah, the ref was just gonna stand and be like, yeah, that went in.
Goal. Sulimuntari, no goal.
And there was a ref there.
Thank God they didn't have goal line technology back then.
You would have lost that Scudetto.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Champions League competition, blah blah blah, All-Star. Actually, quick thing I want to talk about. I was recently reading Al Nassr may get invited to the Champions League next year. Just cutting it off right there. No. You think that's a good or bad idea?
Joe, the competition.
Do you think it actually could happen given like financial regulations?
Yeah, maybe because like they'll pay enough money, and like UEFA's all corrupt, so like I could see it happening, but I don't think it should happen. It should never happen. What's the competition called again?
UEFA European Champions League. I had to throw in the European.
What was the key word in there?
European.
Okay. And where's Saudi?
Not in Europe.
Not in Europe.
So Middle East, or is that continent? Africa?
Joe, not in Europe.
Yeah, not in Europe. Be in the competition. I'll tell you that for free.
Don't give a fuck. Okay, you're gonna invite them. Why don't you invite the winner of the MLS and the winner of whatever, South America, and why are you just gonna invite Saudi because Ronaldo went there and all these all that thing? Honestly, I think that I don't think that's true. I think that all just started with CR7 fanboys trying to get him back into Champions League. Dude, you saw how much they were stroking. Oh, dude, as long as Newcastle makes top 4, he's going to Newcastle. He's going there. He's gonna be playing. Why isn't he playing at Newcastle right now?
He's not good.
Then you heard the because like the season's ending or whatever, or whenever it's done, or in January or whatever, he's gonna go on loan somewhere else. He's not going. He's staying over there. He's gonna get he wants to get his 90 goals this season, so he can be like, dude, I scored 90 goals in 2023. Well, you guys say I'm finished? You're playing in Saudi, dude. Relax. You were a great player at the time, and now you're just having fun. No. So the team from Saudi should not be invited. You're ruining the whole thing of it. Like it's a European competition. Unless you're gonna make like a Super League thing where you're now inviting a bunch of teams. Like let's say you have all your European teams, but you're inviting the winner of in North America.
Wasn't that the Club World Cup?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna make like now this thing where basically you're gonna have like a normal Champions League, all like the teams qualify, but you're gonna have you're gonna
have like 2 or 3 from Saudi, 2 or 3 from okay, and
you're gonna start doing that. Okay, that's one thing. But just to say, yeah, we're gonna have normal Champions League. Oh, and we're also gonna invite one team from Saudi just because
they greased my pockets nicely.
They almost won, so we're gonna invite them here just so they can have a chance at winning Champions League.
I think it's
like what?
When I saw that, I'm like, man, are you like?
No, if that happens, man, that's crazy.
They really just want they really want to push like first off, I think everyone wants to push a Ronaldo agenda.
No,
and
even just like the Saudi league in general. Like, don't get me wrong. You come back to me in 5 to 7 years, and the league's made progress.
Yeah,
players are still going there. Younger players are going there. There are like teams are actually building something good and an actual project, not like Russia and China, what they were trying to do in previous years. They're actually doing something. Then, okay, you know what? I can see the argument to say, okay, you know what? Maybe we can start, invite one team. Then you can go to like two. Maybe. But like, dude, the league, people have known about the league for now a year because Ronaldo went there last January. So almost a year, not even a year that people knew that league was even a thing. Now you have a lot of people that went there in the summer. Okay, there's a lot of people there, but who says in between 2 to 4 years when all these guys that were because they went there close to retirement retire and no one else goes to the league and it just goes back to where it was. Then what? You're gonna keep inviting this team from Saudi Arabia.
I was gonna say
is irrelevant now.
That's the thing, because then if you send out that kind of precedence that we're inviting them this year. Because so marketing this, that, whatever. Okay, cool, fine. But then what about next year? What about the year after that? And it's literally even like it's publicly stated that once 2032 hits, that's like the last hurrah for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like I don't know his name. I'm not even going to try to fucking say it. He even came out and said, this is a 12-year project.
Yeah. 2032
is the last thing. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do after that then? Every year you're going to have to invite somebody because then you set a new precedent. What, 1 year you're going to invite TFC in?
Maybe.
It would be pretty crazy, actually. Champions League game at BMO Field.
Against Roma?
We'd lose. We'd lose 3-0 somehow.
Bova hat-trick.
He'll probably be still playing. Can't retire. But, yeah, okay. Talked about that quickly. Just wanted to pick your brain. I feel like we were going to with that.
I mean,
Frick Al Nasir.
Losers, nerds. It was kind of very self-explanatory from my reaction at the beginning.
Yeah. The second you said no, I'm like,
I saw because I was reading about it this week and even my cousin sent it too, and I was like, okay, like honestly, man, this is not a thing. It's not going to be a thing. It can't be. I'm thinking a lot of these rumors. There's a lot of them, man.
Yeah.
CR7 fans. There's a lot of them.
It's like Mourinho fans, man.
Yeah,
like it's
they will feel crazy. Something, and they'll make like one of these stupid like British tabloids pick it up just because they'll grab on anything that's good news.
Oh yeah.
And then it just blows up, and you're like, "Wait, no, dude, they reported it, but then the whole thing is just fucking rubbish."
We've been doing this thing. Sorry, I just cut you off.
No.
I literally just zoned out, looked at the camera. Sorry. We've been doing this thing where we talk about a team, and we're starting this a little bit earlier right now because I've been thinking a lot about it, and it's very fun to me. This whole team segment that we do. Last week we did Champions League. Year before. I was gonna say, geez, it feels like a year.
Yeah.
We did. What did we do? Oh, that one team, one international team player, whatever nationality. Oh my god, man!
One nationality player.
Yeah, we're gonna need a couple weeks to get back to talking to a microphone. Anyways, this week we actually decided we're gonna challenge ourselves. We're gonna do a starting 11 of left footers only, just because Al is a left footer. He cannot He cannot put himself on the list.
No. If I'm, I can't.
He cannot put his father on the list. Is your dad a lefty already?
What kind of question is that, Joe? Me, my brother,
really?
My dad, we're all lefties.
Really?
We're all lefties.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Toe can't be on the list.
Threat,
as much as I would love to put Toe on, because
he played one time against Torino.
Yeah, and he probably honestly played against Beckenbauer in your Cosmos and put him in his pocket. Fucking idiot, the fucking.
That's stupid idiot.
But yeah, so this actually did take a little bit of research. I'm not gonna lie to you. We'd like to think we have a lot of knowledge, but to think about that particular thing, like, hey, this guy actually is a lefty. Like
when I came with the idea, like, not gonna lie, like a lot of the positions I already had like in my head, like, I knew who it was.
I'll be honest with you. For
my
some
biggest
reason,
struggle was like the goalie and like another midfielder.
No, for me, my struggle was I could only get it like in my head. The only person for some reason was Gareth Bale. I don't know why. There's how many left backs that are all left-footed, and I could say them and whatever. No, Gareth Bale. Okay, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There was my tism kicking.
This is gonna be interesting. Let's get right into it.
This will be a test, but
I'll start with formation.
Okay.
we're gonna go with the 4-3-3.
Always the 4-3-3.
Four.
Wait, what? Oh, like FIFA,
like in EAFC, baby.
Yeah.
This is very it's there's a lot of EAFC talk, so you
lots
don't
of EA
might as well
talk.
continue with it. 4-3-3, 4. So there's a cam.
Question.
Yep.
They have to be like in their proper position.
Like, I mean, obviously, because the only one I'll give an exception for is the. No. The only I'm giving one exception is for the fullbacks, just because it'll be hard to think about a right back that had a left foot, because if that was you're either playing on both sides or you should be playing as a left back.
I was spinning so uses this right, but whatever. Anyways,
yeah, okay.
I get what you mean. I do get what you mean.
Know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. So you start off in net.
Okay, in net, I'm gonna start it off with the second best goalie I've ever seen in my existence, Iker Casillas.
Okay.
Iker Casillas. You don't even have to explain him. I fucking love Casillas. If
there's not much to say about Casillas, man.
Literally, yeah. Like
his name speaks for himself.
Only goalie better than him is honestly Buffon, obviously, because he's the greatest goalie to ever exist. But
respect,
yeah. Iker Casillas, you're right there, buddy.
Okay.
Terrible time to grow up in.
Next position, I'm gonna go at left back.
Oh, of course, easy. You could say any left back. Okay, go.
Yeah, you can say that if it's for you for right back, you can say any left back as well. Because like we said at the beginning, we can do anything. So left back, I'm gonna go with the best left back to ever play the game, to ever put on the boots, and which gets me even more amped is that he actually played on my team.
Oh, okay.
Uncle Pat Evra.
I'm not gonna lie. When you said greatest left back, I instantly thought Maldini.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't think
because that's the thing.
I know what you mean. He played left back, but like no matter what, I always look at Maldini as a center back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll always look at him as a center back.
That makes my decision easier now. Yeah. I'm gonna go, dude. This guy is literally in every single one of our fucking teams. Like that, it's crazy.
Next, we're gonna do a team
without Maldini.
No Maldinis at all.
On team
not even his son. Not even his son or his dad.
Danielle's in my attack.
Oh,
no, I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Paolo Maldini.
That's very easy.
Paolo Maldini. That's the next one I chose.
Right center back. I'm going class again. What perfect partner with Maldini. It goes together like wine and cheese. Giorgio Chiellini.
Ooh.
You didn't see that one coming.
I was gonna actually say, okay, I could still actually say this because technically we said left back, whatever. I'm gonna go with. Stuck here. I'm thinking two guys right now. One still play. Actually, they both still play, but one is like retiring. I'm thinking Jordi Alba.
Okay.
Or David Alaba because of his versatility.
Yeah.
And I truly do love David Alaba. I think
he can slot in any position.
He's defensive mid, center mid, attacking mid.
Yeah,
even,
absolutely solid.
I think I'm gonna go with. I do love Jordi Alba though. I'm gonna say David Alaba just for the vibes.
Okay.
Because he looks pretty crazy and he's friends with Franck Ribéry.
Hey, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Right arm.
Okay. See, now this is where it gets a little bit tough. I have an idea of who I want. I think for the midfield, as a midfielder, to start things off, I'm gonna go David Silva. David Silva.
Lefty. He is fucking fantastic too.
That creativity in that midfield.
Dude, he was a wizard. He was actually probably one of my favorite players to watch, and like he used to scare the fucking shit out of me, man. And like so,
his days on City, man. He was Bernardo Silva before Bernardo Silva.
Yeah,
he was stringing everything on that team.
For me, my other midfielder.
Are you gonna do the mid now or the cam?
I was actually thinking cam because there's a name in my head I want to select.
Yeah, cool, dude.
So, but I was gonna actually say mid. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna make it easier for you. I'm gonna say the other midfielder. Hits home for you. I know that for sure. He wears goggles. Mr. Edgar Davids. You need that workhorse because
that's close.
Yeah, he is.
Oof,
poor man's Clarence Seedorf, but
I didn't even think of that one, but that's good, man.
Edgar Davids.
That's really good. Okay.
Box to box, engine, helps out the lads.
Cam?
Only one guy.
I'm gonna go for one guy that probably scored one of the, like, I don't care, like, just the whole play of it, the nastiest goals in Europe. Mesut Ozil.
Oh, I was gonna say against Ludogorets.
Man, that like he I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it's like just like that whole end thing that happened at Arsenal before he left, and like I don't know. I just feel like he just doesn't get respected enough.
I was actually gonna ask you that. Do you think like Ozil is underrated, perfectly rated, or overrated?
I would say he's right in the middle of underrated to like perfectly
yeah.
rated. Like he's not nowhere near overrated, and like he does get some recognition, but I still feel like he gets a lot of hate and like not enough recognition for the player that he was. And I feel like being at Arsenal at like that time probably didn't have the best effect because I mean it was Arsenal at that time, and like all they had was like they could win is like an FA Cup sometimes. They couldn't really do other than that. There was nothing else.
The Capital One Cup.
Yeah, like they made new cups and they still couldn't win them. So like with him, I feel like he doesn't get like that right recognition. But man, he was such a baller in his day, man. The way he moved, his vision, everything about him, man. I used to hate that how much I loved him.
It's crazy because like I think he got the most recognition when he went to Arsenal because England, media, this and that. But his best years, like with Madrid, guy, like
man,
people
forget he won that. Like him and Di Maria were the biggest reasons for that Champions League.
Another left footer,
dude. Them two were the biggest reasons for that Champions League. I don't care what you say.
Mesut Ozil was like
they were disgusting.
He couldn't do much defending. He had probably the worst fitness too, but that man
in the attack, man,
you couldn't take the ball off him. That vision, bar none, I think the best vision I've ever seen. Better than De Bruyne, 10 times better than De Bruyne, actually. Respectfully, he was just different gravy.
Yeah,
like he was a pleasure.
I can't argue that, man. I can't argue that.
I'm gonna
go on left wing
start
or right
off
wing?
the attack. I'm going to say
start?
right winger because he's been in my head.
Okay.
And the first name I thought of, Mr. Gareth Bale. Greatest
Gareth on the right.
British player to ever exist. Respectfully. I mean, better than Beckham. Better than Harry Kane.
The guy, like...
Better than anything you will throw on me.
You know what the craziest thing about Bale is? How much I feel like he barely even tried, especially like the second part of his career, but was still so fucking disgusting.
He was the perfect.
That's
he was like
Champions League final, and he scored a fucking brace, and one of them was a fucking bicycle kick in a final of a Champions League for the top of the box. I mean,
Karius had a bit of a howler.
Okay, but doesn't matter.
You're not taking away that technique to actually
do that, man. To be like to think of the Champions League final. Yeah, you know, like, I'm gonna go for a bicycle kick top of the box.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Who the fuck thinks of that?
Dude, let's not forget that one match. Inter Tottenham, and he was playing left back, how he introduced himself to the world. Putting Maicon, who's not just an average right back, in a fucking blender. Burning Javier Zanetti down the line too, just to score. Like he was
the time when he against Barca. Dude, when he kicked the ball and he just ran out of the...
He left the stadium and come back in.
He literally runs around the line, goes around the guy, and gets the ball. It's like, dude,
that's the definition.
And scored off of that. Like,
perfect athlete. Most perfect athlete.
Oh my God, so much potential. I don't want to say it was wasted because, like, he carried Wales. He carried Wales to how many competitions that not a lot of people would do, especially with Wales. So I mean, got to give him that. He had a lot of injuries. Yeah,
can't do it with
Holland
Norway.
Can't do it with Norway, and he has players there too that are actually have a name and like are good, like Odegaard,
goal scoring merchant.
Yeah, don't even give me
tapping.
That'll be maybe we'll talk about that on next week's episode. That'll be a whole other topic on its own. Yeah. But okay, so we left off on right wing.
Yeah, I said right wing.
You got Bale. Okay, so now we got striker and we got left wing left. Okay, this is where it gets spicy.
Mucho caliente.
You want me to leave you the striker? Or you want me to leave you the wing?
It doesn't matter. For both, I have a guy.
Okay, I'm going striker.
If you don't say the guy I'm thinking, though, I might.
I probably punch you in the appendix. I probably won't. You probably. I don't know if you think. Okay. Say who you think, and then I'm gonna go on and tell you who I have.
Easy. The Flying Dutchman, Robin van Persie.
Okay, so that was my first. That was like who I was thinking of originally. No. Stop. I'm going to go for, just to change things up. You know, Van Persie, he's good. I loved him. Great player. I had a jersey of his on Arsenal. But I want to make it a little bit spicy, Jose. I want to go a little bit crazy just because.
I know you're doing it.
The potential, the potential this guy had, and still with injuries and the stuff going on, was just still absolutely dominant and the closest thing to R9. I'm going Adriano.
Yeah.
People forget about him. And Joel, you know how much I hate Inter.
Banger.
You know how much I hate Inter.
Nah, that's a banger.
He made me hate Inter a little bit more just because I was like,
wait, can we fact check that?
What?
Is he a lefty?
He is a lefty.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's a lefty, and not even because he's on the list. I remember him being a lefty. He's a lefty. That guy's a truck. That guy was the closest thing to R9.
What was his nickname? The Emperor?
Was the Emperor?
Something like that. I'm remembering FIFA Street 2, and he had
I don't know his thing, but
he had 100.
I just remember how much he was actually the first, and like there wasn't many players that were on Inter that I was genuinely scared of.
He was actually fucked.
Like playing against him. Like now I know when people tell stories and like people that played or like they watched their team when facing like R9 and like they were like, oh my god, like that was like like torture for 90 minutes. Dude, that was the same. Adriano, because of his like how fucked up he got and like the shit he went through like with his dad and everything, like that obviously messed him up. But when he was on his game, man, he was one of the deadliest strikers. Like that guy could have been, talked about in the one of the greatest strikers conversation.
Yeah, dude.
Just because stuff that went on in his life kind of held him back and he wasn't really able to. But my God, man, that guy he was fast, he was strong, he had a shot on him. He had everything, man. He was literally like R9
Dude, it's
reincarnated.
crazy because I still remember watching Adriano. Like he was such a fucking physical like prowess. Like he had the speed with that physicality, and his feet moved the way they did with that banging shot.
I mean, man, dude, he was a scary motherfucker.
That's a good shout,
right?
Roma legend.
I wanted to change it up a little bit. The 5 games he played at Roma. Yeah. I wanted to change it up. I was honestly, I was generally gonna go for Van Persie or Cruyff. I was like one of the two.
Cruyff, we didn't see.
I was gonna like I didn't really see him, so like, but I know how good I've seen videos and I've heard of my dad and just from people saying how good he was, but I didn't want to go that route. And Van Persie, I was really gonna go with him, but then like I saw Adriano, I thought back and I was like, you know what, man, make this team a little bit more spicy. It's our team, it's our little fucking ultimate team. Let's go Adriano.
See, now you're making me question if I want to go with like I was gonna go with Messi. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
because it's Messi. If you have a chance to put him in your team, you're putting him in your friggin' team.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like now you're making me question if I want to do that.
Like, really, we could have gone. We could have gone the Messi. We could have gone the Maradona. The whatever the Puskas if you really wanted to. Salah. Bernardo
How do you know
Silva.
I wasn't gonna choose Salah right now though?
You could, but I'm saying
I'm not gonna choose Salah.
Choose somebody.
I'm
a little bit spicy.
You know what? Only because I actually really liked him as a striker. I thought he was really fun.
Really left wing.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. He's left wing. He's not a left winger though.
Yeah, you gotta make sure he's a left. You got like
at
least they played on a wing.
Sucks. Because I was gonna say Raul. I would have went with Raul then because it's
he was more
Raul,
more central.
No,
it's a good show. But like I mean, I would say he's more like as a central player. Like he's not really off to the sides or anything, or really ever played on the sides.
Okay. You know what? This guy used to scare me because he was young, he was strong, fast. He was another one of those whatever. I don't think he really spiraled out of control like Adriano did, but his career never really lived up to the potential of what he could have been. Because like whatever, I don't know. Actually, I'm not a doctor. I'm gonna go with Lucas Podolski.
Okay,
a little bit left field.
Yeah,
well, literally left field. I'm gonna say Lucas Podolski because you know what? Obviously Messi is my first choice. Mm-hmm. Everyone's first fucking choice.
Obviously, man.
I could have went with Di Maria as well, but there's something about like Lucas Podolski that I always admired. Good feet.
I can see it.
Fast.
I've always respected him.
Shot. Like he was. I wouldn't say he was unmarkable, but he's definitely one of those guys that I think should be higher up in an all-time list.
Yeah.
Like he was genuinely really fucking good. Yeah. But he doesn't get the credit. He faded out really fast. I think after Arsenal, where did he even go? He retired probably. No, he still plays for like Vissel Kobe.
Yeah, he went over there after.
Yeah.
I know he also went to Galatasaray too at some point.
Well, maybe he went to Galatasaray.
I think he went. I'm trying to think. He didn't come to Italy, Podolski.
No, I wished. I always wanted him.
No, I think he was linked a couple times, but he never came. But yeah, no, I think it was Galatasaray right after Arsenal. I may be wrong about that. Don't fact check me, but I'm pretty sure it was that.
Man, he's also one of like left-footed goals since 2000. This random stat, like that's pretty crazy actually. Like that he's up there.
Dude,
wait,
man.
Where are you? Hurry up!
You got a good.
Shit, we could have said Arjen Robben.
I know.
At any point.
I was also thinking that too, but like,
no, he's a cut-in merchant.
I mean, man, still crazy how like he did it every time and it worked.
And it always fucking worked.
Crazy how people fell for it, or just like he just made them fall for it. Because
I just don't get how you didn't stop him. Okay, I know he's doing it at such pace and whatever, but at the same time,
you're getting run at you. Even when you know it's going that way, like you're still gonna obviously cover just in case that one time he might go to the right time if you don't commit. You obviously want to cover all angles, then you get fucked.
Why is it that every left-footed player doesn't know how to use their weak foot?
Because you're like
every right-footed player is so good with not so good, but they're able to use their left. It's more common that a right-footer could use both feet, whereas
because with just goalies and players, like they always say that the worst players to come up against are lefties. Yeah. So when you're right-footed, people want to learn left so you can be a little bit more unpredictable because righties are all predictable. And I feel like as a lefty, I feel like I was always just I always felt so dominant and felt like my left foot was so good. I never even wanted to even try to learn my I'm being serious. I never wanted to care to learn about my learn to use my right or just even try dude, I would be lined up, let's just say, for a right-footed shot, kind of, a little curler. I would go for the Trivella just because I was I'm not going to shoot my right foot for. Yeah, I got a left foot.
I'd use my left still.
I'm
actually probably better with my left than my right.
Does that mean because you're a righty, so you always want to go to come onto our side and take a little bit of the glory. Yeah. But you're not that special. But I think we covered our team. The last thing I would say, coach, but I'm not gonna. I can't. I don't know.
Coach.
I don't know any left-footed coaches. So
Diego Simeone.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm trying to think of players like coaches.
That's what I'm trying to think of players like Conti.
But I was Simeone. Gonna say, I remember Conti's.
So I feel like we just leave the coach for now.
Yeah, yeah. The coach will say Carlos Tevez because he was there for vibes.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have something else for next week. A new team, a new idea.
Let us know.
Make it a little bit more spicy. If you guys got any ideas, let us know. But if not, we're gonna come up with something. We're gonna change it up. Keep the juices flowing. Keep our minds going because it's been a couple weeks now. We're getting back. We've been kind of mush.
We're getting back into this.
We got to get back into it.
This is gonna become a whole series eventually.
Before we end things off, we're gonna get into a little thing that we're just starting here. Not sponsored by EAFC, but we'll give them a little bit of credit for this again too. We're doing a little segment here called Hero or Legend.
Oh, hero icon. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we're both going to name off a couple players, just whatever. Go through a list of players that have retired that, aren't in FIFA yet as an icon or a hero.
And they should be.
Yeah. I'll say one, and Joel will just give me his response of what he thinks they should be. And then if I want to argue him, I'll argue it. But just kind of going back and forth here. So, Joel, to start things off.
Icon. I already know what you're going to say. Icon.
I didn't even say it.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Totti. I'm going to say icon.
Okay. For the first player, Balzaretti.
None.
Okay, see? So you didn't think I was going to say Totti.
No, because you weren't even thinking about
First player, De Rossi.
Ooh. Biased opinion, icon.
But as a soccer fan, I'm gonna try not to even ask
this is the thing,
players
because honestly, my thing is the people they've given icons, whatever that card, I would look at you and say a good chunk of them don't deserve it.
Yeah,
so I would look at you. Nah, I'm gonna still say it. De Rossi icon.
You're saying De Rossi
icon,
okay.
Man.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think there? Do you think? You think
icon? I would put De Rossi as an icon. Okay. I would say an icon.
He's definitely better than Gattuso.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
he's done more in his career than just have certain moments. Mm-hmm. I feel like that he would deserve to have an icon card. It's not gonna be the greatest icon card. It's not gonna be the highest rated.
No. I was gonna say
I definitely think that he would deserve an icon.
Okay.
Can you give me one?
I'm gonna ask you, Arjen Robben. Because he doesn't have a card right now.
Mhm.
Recently retired.
Only Ribery got one for some
Yeah.
reason. Like Ribery retired like 8 months ago, and they're like, boom, you're
Yeah.
getting an
Yeah.
icon card. Robin, they're like, yeah, you can wait a little bit. That's a good one. I mean, I feel like he'd be on that same level as Ribery. Like I feel like he would have to be icon. Like Robin's done too much internationally and with Bayern Munich that it's not like even with those teams that when they won Champions League, whatever, like he played a big part in that team. Like that Netherlands team that went to the finals, like he was a big part of that team. So I feel like he's been consistent enough and has done more than enough in his career to put a name that his name will be remembered in the game that he should be an icon.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I'd honestly agree with you.
I can't really I feel like he's.
I feel like it's criminal.
It'd be doing him dirty if you put him as a hero.
Like if you give in Ribery a hero card, then yes, Robin I would say hero card as well.
Yeah,
I do kind of rate Ribery above Robin a little bit, but in saying that, you don't get robbery from just Ribery. You know, like it's a thing.
It's true, man. It's facts. Okay. Okay. I mean, we were talking about him before. Gareth Bale,
icon.
Yeah.
Icon. Oh yeah.
Give him that icon card
over Giggs. I'd relegate Giggs to hero and give Bale an icon.
What about Ian Rush?
Ian Rush.
Rush days. There could be two guys from
yeah.
Wales.
Okay. Fine. Get rid of Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
No, actually, keep Gary Lineker. He's not that bad of a guy. He's actually kind of like a.
I keep seeing his podcast.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually not that bad of a guy, man.
Ian Wright. Ian Wright.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
You suck. Yeah. And Patrick Kluivert.
Because his son didn't work out for Roma.
Screw you, dude. He recently retired, poor thing, and I loved him, that little cute fat ass.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to say.
Eden Hazard.
Hazard, man. Fuck. I didn't want to, because this one's tough.
I agree.
This one is for me,
because you think about the
tough.
Lifespan, right? Like
exactly. Like, did he,
wrong,
he did have an impact because, like, it's not like he had 2 years. If it was like he had only 2 years at Chelsea and then he moved to Madrid and then he just fell off and you never heard of him, then I would say, okay, you know what? He had 2 years good, as he had them already, I would say hero. But a big chunk of his career, people forget, was at Chelsea. And man, the way that guy moved
with Lille.
Yeah, and he also won Europa League with Chelsea.
Yeah,
I'm going with icon.
Yeah,
I'm going with icon for him, man.
I can't argue that. I genuinely can't argue that because
he's done too much, and he, at the end of the day, man, majority of his career was with Chelsea. You look at it, he's a Chelsea legend. He went to Madrid for 3 years, won a Champions League with them, sitting on the bench, and retired right after, and left them retired.
You really think with when I see Eden Hazard, I look at him and everyone's gonna say, oh, injuries, whatever. I look, I agree, yeah, obviously injuries. I feel like he gave so much to Chelsea.
Yeah. He
was their number one guy. It's kind of like how I look at Conte. I think both are fantastic, unreal players, but they gave a little bit too much, actually.
Yeah.
They played through injuries, through all the little nicks and knacks and whatever was bothering them, and they trucked through it. And then that stuff catches up to them.
Mm-hmm.
There was games I remember that Conte was questionable with a hamstring injury. He played a whole 90. And he did it again 3 days later. Hazard, same thing. His little ankle injuries and whatever. And he still played through all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then, obviously, that catches up to you. And you go to Madrid, whatever, you think you're perfectly fine. All these little knickknacks, all the small little injuries, that catches up to you. So I feel like for him, he just literally gave everything he had to Chelsea. And, it sucks his career didn't last that long.
No.
Okay, it did last long, but you know what I mean? You didn't see that brilliance and that magic he had on Chelsea over at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It was shortly lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my guy.
Okay. Now I'm going to go with one. I was trying to decide between two, but I'm going to go this way. PK.
Nothing.
You don't think nothing?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I know I might get torched. I will look at you and constantly say the same thing. PK is very, very fortunate to have the players he always had around him.
I wasn't expecting that one, man.
I wouldn't give him anything.
So no card.
No card.
Wow.
You're just going to you'll be known as a guy that won a lot of trophies. You'll be known as a good defender, but you won't be known as great. In my opinion, I'm going to be honest. He had Puyol with him at Barca. He had Dani Alves. He had Jordi Alba. He had Eric Abidal. He then would go to Spain, and he had Sergio Ramos. He always had great things around him. He had a goalie that could save his ass. For
up.
both teams. He had Sergio Busquets right in front of him. Oh, you're on Spain though now. Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. I got Xabi Alonso and Sergio Busquets protecting me. I don't know. I don't put him that high up. I never did.
Crazy.
I think he's overrated as fucking hell.
Hey man, hey, I appreciate your opinion.
Do you think he's?
I would at most give him a hero card. At most, I would say he's a hero. I wouldn't say an icon at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. But I agree with most of the stuff you said about that whole thing with him with Barca, him with Spain. I agree with it. But I would say that, he's had moments where he came up big and he was that, that man of the match for that team for, whatever victory it was, whether it's Champions League or, winning international trophy with Spain. He played a big part in certain games where I think that if, he would be deserving of a hero card.
Okay.
But I also
that's
I also see your point and agree with I also kind of agree with that, saying that he doesn't deserve anything. Yeah. I do see where you're coming from.
That's the thing. I agree with you
I'm
too.
Not
whereas
thrown off where I'm like no.
I could see him getting a hero card because again, I don't know if it's I have a hatred for him too. I don't know if that's what overwhelms it.
Kira.
Yeah. Well, how'd you leave that and then chirp it? No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. No, I don't know. With stuff like that, I look at all these defenders, I feel like it's like the whole Bonucci conundrum. I think Bonucci's a good defender. I just think he's overrated because he was always fortunate enough to have great players around him. You saw once he left Juve and went to Milan, look how fucking dreadful he was. When he came back to Juve, look how long it took him to get back to the Bonucci of old. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I look at and stuff like that. Could I see PK doing as well as he did without the greatness around him? No. So that's why I could see a hero card, obviously, because it's a Barcelona legend, obviously, I guess.
Okay.
But,
now hit me.
Okay, 1 sec. Give me a think.
I'll give you whatever think you want.
Edgar Davids. We're gonna talk about a Juve. Actually, no, not Edgar Davids, because I already know you're gonna twerk for him and fucking knee slide for him. Pump it back, Cesc Fabregas.
Cesc Fabregas?
Yeah,
I would probably say icon for him.
Okay,
I would say. I mean, it's no. For me, Fabregas was a better Spanish Marquisio, if that makes sense. And I feel like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That Fabregas was the guy pulling the strings in every team that he was in. He was a big part of that midfield, but didn't do the big things that got him recognition. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the final pass getting that assist. He wasn't scoring the goals. He wasn't making the tackles, but he was doing everything and going in those positions. Yeah. And moving in those positions where he just created that space and just made everything flow so easily.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the type of player, and he doesn't get a lot of respect for it, but Fabregas was a big part of that the Barca team, big part of that Spain team when they won those 3 cups in a row. Mm-hmm. And a big part of when he was on Arsenal as well.
Yeah. I agree.
He was on Chelsea too, right?
And he won the Champions League.
He was one of the ones for both. Yeah. But that's what I mean. He's very fundamental in that midfield. And for me, it's if people can fight me, you can fight me. I think
no, I wouldn't. I love Fabregas. Yeah. I think, like you said, underrated because he wasn't the guy that got the assists. His stats, with Arsenal, he got those stats. But then once you went to Barcelona or whatever, his role was different.
Yeah, his role
But
changed.
He still embraced it. He still did very well. He was just always that perfect guy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Okay, we'll do one last round. I already got a player, so you can even in the meantime think about yours. And I want you to answer this. I genuinely want you you to answer this. No bias. If you have to take the jersey off, take the jersey off. Like the Italy jersey, I mean. Icon or hero, Barzagli. Or nothing. Up to you.
That's tough. See, that's tough because
I was gonna ask Chiellini or Bonucci, but I mean, both of those I feel are very kind of easy answers.
Bonucci, nothing.
Yeah, Chiellini, icon, 100%. Both agree
Barzagli.
Barzagli like that. He was almost like the Marquisio of the defense, where
Yeah.
Fundamental in that BBC.
But that's the thing too.
Huge in that
you think
BBC.
about prior to BBC, he never really had a proper home.
No, he was on
like
Wolfsburg when we got him, Palermo,
all like whatever.
But,
so
you look at those 9 years we were dominant. Like he was part of majority of them.
He played right back. He played center
came in,
back.
I think, at 28 or 29 years old when he came to Juve and played all the way until the end of his career, and he was fundamental in that BBC. But didn't get that recognition because he wasn't picking balls like Bonucci, and he wasn't killing guys and sweeping up in the back like Chiellini.
See, that's why it's tough too. Like he doesn't have the glitz, the glamour. Short.
That's why I want to know what you would think for a guy like that.
I'd honestly probably biased. 100%, I say he's an icon.
Yeah, no, but that's why I don't
no
want your
bias. Take the jersey off. I'd probably make a case for him to be a hero, only because again, it's like he's one of those guys that he was so fundamental. And he genuinely was above a lot of defenders. Especially like at the age of 34 when you guys made the finals, I think it was. He was still like a fundamental key part of pocketing people. Like he was that heartbeat too. Again, didn't do the glitz and the glamour, but last second tackle, Barzagli was good for it. Oh,
he's so elegant, man.
You know what I mean? Like he was just always that good player, always very well rounded. Again, it was just growing into that Juve role. Up until that part, he was kind of like a nobody.
Yeah, he didn't know where his home was. He couldn't find home.
Yeah,
and then
so
that's
why I wouldn't give him that icon status.
Joe,
because 3-4 years of
before I even asked
level.
that question, I already thought hero in my head. I think that's like perfectly like deserved. I feel so IMO now. So we both agree on hero.
I gotta.
Now you end it off.
I want to give you a troubled one.
Give me whatever you want, man. I'll answer it. I'm ready.
I want to make you think, and I kind of
can't really think of Juve ones because majority of them already have icon cards. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wanted to say Vidal, but I feel like, you know what? He's gonna probably be forced into retirement. This guy.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm gonna say his name. Paul Pogba. Does he deserve a card in any way?
Pogba definitely deserves a card, but I feel like and not even like what he's going through now, but him going to United and those years at United ruined him and held him back from becoming that icon. But I definitely feel like you look back, man, and you just watch, I want you to, like, one night, Joe, when you're home and you're, in your witching hour and you don't know what to watch and you don't know what to do, just put on the Euro,
when they won the World Cup?
The Euro Cup, and then go watch the World Cup. Just watch those two performances. Conte was massive also in that midfield. Conte was one of the biggest reasons they won that, but so was Pogba. Those two tournaments were the best I've ever, and I've seen Pogba play with Juve where he scored fucking from almost half, scored absolute bangers. Was phenomenal, dude. He was the biggest thing in our midfield, and as soon as he left, I was heartbroken, man. I hated that he left. We got good money. I hated it though, but he was just, man, that guy people don't really we haven't seen a guy like his size that quick move like that with that his feet, dude. It was like he was on skates every time. Like he moved so nice, made me just fall in love with. Well,
he was supposed to be that Zidane,
right?
Exactly.
Like, he was supposed to be that
second coming,
and you saw that, man. But that move to United is what fucked him. And I don't care what anybody says, that's what held him back in his career, because you saw when he left, when he was playing with United, he would go play with France, and it was like people were like, "Why aren't you doing this with us?" Like, well, what are you doing? You're playing that with France, but then you come to United and you one game you're good, one game you're first game of the season you assist 4 goals, and then after that you don't get an assist for the next 15 games. So no one understood it, but you look at those performances, man. I think just that alone, he deserves a hero card, and I'm a nice juicy a Ginola type hero, he's gonna be over 5 million coins hero. I think. I don't think icon because
what are you really doing?
There was a short period of time where he was very dominant, that it didn't expand to over a long time because of the moves that he made in his career.
Yeah.
So that's what held him back. But I definitely do. He is deserving of something, and I think it's a hero card. We're not gonna get into that one, but just to answer your quick question before, we almost said Vidal. Vidal, though, I would say icon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would say icon.
I'd agree with that. It's like Alexis Sanchez. Both of them, I'd say icon.
Oh, Sanchez? Don't even start about that.
Udinese legend.
Yeah, dude. Sanchez is disgusting.
Bum.
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think we end things off there.
Yeah.
End off on. No, I mean, hey, first episode back, we went above and beyond.
Yeah.
We're at an hour and 15 minutes today, which
crazy.
A lot longer than we've recently been doing. And I know sorry guys if it dragged on. We tried.
No, we're not sorry. Actually, he's trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Friggin' listen, man.
We tried compacting, the last couple weeks and just ideas that we had shooting back and forth.
Yeah.
Just into this episode, but we were both excited. We wanted to get back into it. We wanted to just fire it up and give you guys at least something to listen to, and not just a quick little episode. You get to expand. You get to on your drive home, on your way to work the next day.
I already know. I'll get a text about women's football.
That's okay. You know what,
Joe's? But I wanted to talk about it.
We're open about everything here. We talk about everything here.
Yeah.
So, like Joe said at the beginning, guys,
let's just send them.
Don't forget, keep an eye out because there will be a new episode of Timelines coming out this week. And we're going to be working on another one that will be dropping very shortly as well. So keep an eye out for that because these things are going to be heating up. And honestly, I don't know about you, I'm actually loving them. I'm absolutely having fun with them. I'm loving them. So I'm excited to do more.
I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was.
Yeah,
it actually made me. I thought it was gonna I see it on TikTok.
I got nervous getting into it, and on TikTok I'm watching. I'm like, okay, that's that.
Yeah.
Sitting there and doing it, I was like, I don't know my own team. I'm like, what kind of Juve fan am I? I had it on me. I'm like,
it's
what the hell is
actually
this?
A tough ask sometimes.
No, but it's fun. It's fun. You guys will enjoy the ones coming, and I hope you guys enjoyed Joe's. That was the little thing to get it started, to fire it up. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's on our YouTube channel. The little previews on our TikTok, so you can check that out. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment. If you haven't yet, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at UltrasXI. And yeah, guys, keep an eye out for that stuff. We're gonna be posting a little bit more content on TikTok, doing some of the. I keep seeing all these new challenges, trying to build this player over 90 rated and these teams.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
And I'm kind of intrigued. I might kind of hop on that train. So keep an eye out for that, guys, as well.
I was gonna hop on it.
I probably will hop on. I hop onto all these trends. I'm just gonna be sitting on my couch one night and just go all for.
I'm gonna do one shirtless in bed,
probably with something Roma in the background. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. But other than that, we'll see you next week. We'll hear you next week.